Welcome to this explainer. Ever wonder how a top-tier university actually builds the massive infrastructure needed to lead the very next era of scientific discovery? Well, today, we're unpacking the architectural blueprint for Penn State's Institute for Computational and Data Sciences, or ICDS for short. We'll be looking at their strategic plan spanning 2025 to 2030. Think of this as a master class in how massive institutions solve the incredibly complex scaling problems of the modern scientific era. Okay, let's dive right in by acknowledging the elephant in the room. Modern data-intensive science is, frankly, overwhelmingly complex, and it's evolving at breakneck speed. We're talking about the AI and quantum revolutions happening simultaneously. It's genuinely awe-inspiring. But how exactly does a university prepare for that kind of massive paradigm shift? You can't just run out and buy a few new computers. You literally have to fundamentally restructure how you support scientific research from the ground up. Science is absolutely at a turning point right now. As ICDS Director Guido Cervone perfectly puts it, artificial intelligence is reshaping every single scientific discipline. To not just survive this massive shift, but to actually lead it, Penn State has drafted a literal blueprint for their computational future. It's all about moving from a basic vision directly into measurable, hard-hitting impact. So here is the roadmap for our explainer today. We're going to cover the under-one-roof advantage, the foundational themes, the 4 strategic pillars, powering infrastructure and services, and finally, moving from vision to impact. All right, kicking things off with Section 1, the under-one-roof advantage. Let's explore ICD's highly unique structure. Now, take a second to grasp the sheer scale of this operation. Most peer institutions kind of silo their research away from their high-performance computing centers, but ICDS, they put both under one roof. They're combining an active research institute that has over $10 million in yearly initiatives, 47 faculty co-funds across 10 different colleges, 5 targeted research hubs, and a massive 40,000-plus computational core facility. To really put that scale into perspective, they are managing over 20 petabytes of research data. 20 petabytes. That is an absolutely astronomical amount of information. But here's the real genius of it. By housing the researchers who generate the data right next to the infrastructure that actually stores and processes it, they create this incredibly rapid feedback loop that pure service organizations simply cannot match. And to make sense of all that data, you need a seriously dynamic network of brainpower. At the core, you have co-funded faculty. These are researchers who hold a formal appointment with ICDS and act as co-owners of the institute's direction. Around them are fellows who maintain a sustained partnership, and then you have the broader affiliated faculty. It's a beautifully layered network of expertise that spans the entire university ecosystem. Moving right along to Section 2, foundational themes. These are the cross-cutting principles holding this whole thing together. The very first theme here is AI transformation. And listen, AI isn't just some buzzword they slapped on a brochure or a single isolated project. It is the literal lens that drives everything they do. It guides their cluster hires across various colleges, it dictates their infrastructure investments, and it shapes their outreach. They are deeply focused on things like AI for health, bio-AI, and even AI in the creative arts. You can actually see how this AI foundation forces everything to integrate. If you track the progression from 2016 out to 2026, AI methods act like gravity, pulling vastly different academic disciplines together. By running university-wide AI cluster hires, they bring completely different academic minds, everyone from computer scientists to humanities scholars, together under shared, massive scientific goals. Rounding out that foundation, we've got 3 more really crucial themes. First is sustainability, meaning they ensure staffing depth, stable financial models, and equipment lifecycle discipline, so they aren't constantly caught in some crisis replacement mode. Second is integration, making sure research proposals naturally justify any new infrastructure. And finally, a Penn State first approach. Whenever it's viable, they intentionally reinvest resources right back into the university ecosystem to strengthen it from the inside out. Okay, let's build this up. Section 3, 4 strategic pillars. This is where we transition from vision to tangible impact. So these are the load-bearing elements holding the entire institute up. If the foundational themes we just talked about are the how, these pillars are the what. We've got faculty, partners, research initiatives, and services. Working together, they take the institute from a basic idea to real world-changing science. This right here perfectly illustrates the blueprint metaphor the institute uses. Look at how these 4 pillars stand side by side to support the bridge going from vision to impact.
The plan explicitly notes that strong pillars operating in isolation just produce activity. But working in concert, that is when they produce massive, externally funded, transformative science that completely shatters old boundaries.
So the real takeaway from these first three pillars is how they build strategic clusters of brainpower and extend their collaborative reach way beyond the campus. For Pillar 1, faculty, they're planning to grow to about 70 co-funds, specifically hunting for top-tier experts in AI and quantum computing. For Pillar 2, partners, they're teaming up with national labs and local industry. And for Pillar 3, research initiatives, they drive discovery through targeted hubs, like the AI Hub, the Quantum Hub, and the Digital Twins Hub. Plus, they pair these with seed grants that help researchers get the preliminary data they desperately need to win those massive external awards. Which brings us to Section 4, Infrastructure Services, the raw computing power running quietly behind the scenes. It takes both human genius and raw computing power to succeed, right? That symbiotic relationship is basically Pillar 4 in action. On one side, you have RISE, Research Innovations with Scientists and Engineers. These are highly skilled computational scientists who embed directly into research groups, providing that crucial human expertise. On the flip side is ROAR, the massive high-performance computing facility that provides the raw muscle, the scalable computing power, and the advanced storage needed to actually run those mind-bendingly complex simulations. And notice their strategy with this. They are investing ahead of demand. They're not sitting around waiting for researchers to complain about slow computers. They are actively bringing 3 strategic environments into full production right now. They're building a dedicated AI cluster packed with GPUs specifically for heavy AI workloads. They're building Lion Shield, a highly secure environment meeting strict federal compliance for sensitive data. And they're launching a dedicated instructional environment to support Penn State's growing AI teaching mission. They are completely future-proofing this operation. Finally, we reach the roof. Section 5, From Vision to Impact, the ultimate goal. The main takeaway from this entire strategic plan is just the beauty of this unified engine they've built. Co-funded faculty drive activity in the research hubs. Those hubs then generate large-scale proposals. Those proposals bring in the funding to justify expanding the ROAR and RISE infrastructure. And that world-class infrastructure enables the exact kind of groundbreaking research that attracts the next generation of top scientific minds right back to the faculty. It's just a perfect, self-sustaining loop of continuous innovation. So as we wrap up this explainer, we're left with one massive, exciting question. With a blueprint this robust, bringing together experts in AI, quantum computing, and digital twins all under one incredibly powerful roof, what world-changing discoveries will emerge from Penn State next? The infrastructure is absolutely ready. The minds are all in place. The future is just waiting to be calculated.